So I'm not sure how many of you have had any work experience or anything yet in law firms, but generally the way you do it is everything's time recorded and it's in 6-minute units, because then you get 10 6-minute units in an hour. So when you first start, you will get time recording training. They'll show you how to do it and how best to record everything. But as trainees, we don't really have any targets because they don't feel the need to put that sort of pressure on anyone. But they do like you to do it from pretty much day one, so you get into the habit of it because you need to do it when you are qualified. And although there are no official targets, they do sort of ask that people aim to record at least 4 hours a day. And like I said, you will get training into that to show you how the best way to do that. And in terms of support, the secretaries are so useful. They know everything. Anytime I get stuck, they're always one of the first people that I go to. They all know so much and they basically keep the firm running. So don't ever underestimate the importance of the secretaries and how much value and help they can be. We also get support from your other trainees. We have a trainees WhatsApp group that we use to just have a chat, see how everyone's doing. And we have trainee/junior lawyer catch-ups, which I think are monthly at the moment. And you can also go to senior solicitors, directors. Basically, it's a whole open door policy. I talk to the head of my department every morning just so we can have a chat about the matters we're working on, how I'm managing my workloads, how I'm dealing with working from home and everything like that. And most departments also have a group WhatsApp. So I know the property one does, and I think Vashi's part of the DR one, I'm not sure. But basically, it's an open door policy still. It used to be easier with just walking into someone's office, but now we have an internal video system, which is basically the same. If I need someone, I'll just ring it and hope they answer. And if they don't answer, yeah, just click on the name, ring. And if they don't answer, you'll get a call back with before the end of the day anyway, and they'll be like, what's up? And no matter how busy they are, they're always happy to take, sometimes they take an hour or so out of their day to explain something to you just to make sure you're understanding and you're learning. And that hasn't stopped because of the pandemic. That is still happening. I think I've got a call this afternoon with one of the sisters I'm working with so we can go through a document that I sent her. So you still get that level of support and training to make sure that you're, one, learning, two, coping, and three, just sort of know what you're doing and don't feel isolated with this pandemic, as a lot of people can do. And also there are end of seats reviews, which basically you sit down with the head of the department and just sort of talk about what you've done, how well you think they think you've done, what sort of things you can improve on. And I think there is also mid-seat reviews as well, just so you get an idea that you're on track to be doing well in that seat. And if there's anything that they think this area you need to improve, then you've got that halfway through. And then by the end of your review, they can say, you can basically say, I've worked on that, things have improved. And it just gives you good feedback so you know you're on the right tracks to developing the skills you need for when you qualify, basically. So yeah, even with the pandemic going on, there is tons and tons and tons of support from all levels. And that's one of the things I really like about this firm is everybody's so approachable, from secretaries to directors. You can just chat to any of them about anything and everybody is more than willing to help. And there's not so much of that hierarchical thing that you can sometimes have with bigger, more traditional law firms. Ours is a much more friendly approach, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to work here, basically.
Work-life balance. I think a lot of people picture, even uni students picture lawyers as people who work from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. So rest assured that's not the case most of the time. Our working hours are 9 to 5 as a firm. And one of our biggest selling points is that we don't have a working late culture. It is essentially down, you are treated like an adult because you are an adult. So it is down to you to manage your workload and your time. And I'm not saying that, there are some instances where you'll have to work a little later or you'll have to work through lunch. It is very much a 9 to 5 work-life balance, and you like I said, it's entirely down to you to manage your workload. As a trainee, you're not expected to stay late at all. I've had directors walk past my office doors previously at about 5:30 going, what are you still doing here? And they'll continue to stay till about 9 to finish their piece of work, or get emails where I've sent an email out at 6 going, go home, what are you doing at work? So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that really working late culture that you might think bigger firms would have. But like I said, you are treated as a professional, so there are times that you will have to work past that time. But yeah, if you manage your workload, I think I can count on my two hands the amount of times that I've had to do that. I don't know about you. I mean, you are busy all the time, but if you manage your workload, you should very much be able to stick to those working hours.